Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is still George ONYEIBE. Of course, we are not going anywhere. This is where we will hold them. This is where we will drown them. This is where we will confront their hypocrisy and, of course, put their righteousness to the test, if eventually they claim to be God. I am George ONYEIBE, and I want us to look at a message as simply titled, "What if the conspiracy theory happens to be true?" What if some of these conspiracy theories happen to be true? The people of South region, what next? Every ethnic group under the South region, what next? A conspiracy theory is a belief that certain secret is being carried out by certain individuals to the detriment of others, but not yet confirmed. This conspiracy theory we are going to look into this afternoon are not yet confirmed, but that does not dismiss the fact that there is organized crime against us as a people. And so until we have the privilege to come before the National Assembly or a competent court jurisdiction within Nigeria to prove what we are saying, let's assume that is a conspiracy theory. And we cannot forget that assumption does not have a legal backup in the lockup. But let's reason together. Some of this conspiracy theory against the people of Ibibio, Efik and Anang, conspiracy theory against the Rubo, the Ijos, the Ishekiri, a conspiracy theory against the Eka, the Osimili, the Ndokwa, the Anyocha people, a conspiracy theory against the Idoma, the Igalas, a conspiracy theory against every ethnic nationality in Nigeria, but certain group of individuals which they're trying to distract us so we will not know. A fraction of some individuals from the old Eastern region say they migrated from Israel, that they are the children of Abraham, from the lineage of God, being the third son of Abraham. Obidio know what I'm saying. So they come from Israel. Now they settle in our land. Ever since then, they've been stealing our heritage, our culture, our tradition. They're destroying everything. This group of individuals are the real problem of Nigeria. But let's say it's a conspiracy theory, because somewhere along the line, they will make a move that will eventually break the camel's back. It's a gradual process. Now, let's examine some of these conspiracy theory. But before then, I want to appreciate my Anyoma brother. He called me last night and said to me, "We know what you are saying is the truth, but I don't want you, and there are a lot of us who don't want you to call them Southeast, because we all know that there are some progressive-minded individuals in the Southeast. If they mock us and call us South, we don't have sense. It's okay. South is our official name as a region, but this is not who we are. Traditionally, we are Nyoma people." They have an agenda before Dr. Alex Ekwime under the directive of General Sani Abacha of the blessed memory, called us South. Is it not ironic when a supposed woman is mocking you that you're answering South? But let me not digress. And the brother said to me, "Don't call them Southeast. We cannot condescend so low to their level. We know who we are. Address them properly." Brother, I thank you. And for those progressive-minded people in the Southeast, I have called you Southeast. I'm truly sorry. I was trying to prove a point, but I'm not always right. And then I must also proceed to acknowledge our monarchs, our intellectuals, stakeholders, opinion molders from across board in the South region, who are not seeing anything yet, but they understand the full implication of this conspiracy theory, this organized crime against us as a people, and they're doing what is needful. The more you push it, we are uniting on Igbo, the more you're going to separate us. I can assure you that you're not going anywhere. The newly crown of Asaba King, you heard what he told you. The dying Obi of Abo has not spoken. Obi Efezomo has not spoken, to mention but few. If you want to unite with us, you have to go through the front door. ONYEIBE Igbo should be up and running. ONYEIBE Development Union should be up and running. World Igbo Congress should be up and running and prove that they are responsible people and ready to take responsibility. Until then, all your back door, you are dead on arrival. You will shoot yourself on the feet. I'm just one hungry man, illiterate, stark illiterate from uncompleted building, very hungry. But I, as a hungry man, as you call me, stark illiterate as you call me, I will show you the other part of the ability to imitate you know nothing about. We do not speak English to prove we are educated. It's a way of communication. Or we are striving or trying to do is to make sure that whether we speak big English or concocted English or broken English or vernacular English, whatever we'll speak, even those who cannot understand our dialect will be able to perceive what we are saying. That is communication. In the essence of that, we go to school to be educated, not to have sense. And so I appreciate all of you who are doing the needful. It's obvious it's not the hatred of anybody that drives us, but preserving who we are, ensuring that nobody will sell the next generation of our people. It's as simple as that. If you still don't know this is organized crime against us, and then you have to think again. Let's go this way. We had a meeting to unite ONYEIBE after Biafra agitation and obedient articulation movement failed. I was asked to head that very group. All these people uniting ONYEIBE, they are just recruits hired along the road. All of them are Igbo from the southeast. None of them is Ikuri, no Anyoma, no Anyocha. None of them. And you should ask yourself, why are they so desperate? And now, in this very meeting, it was a Skype meeting, or rather a Zoom meeting. A lot of people joined the Zoom from across board. And I noticed in that meeting, I was the only person from South region. And this is based on my relationship with them in the Biafra stuff. And then they started analyzing. We need to get everybody in Old Eastern region down on board. We need to look at certain issues which are very sensitive, which we all agree. And then speaker after speaker was speaking. I don't normally from myself in issues like that. I hardly talk, except they call me. And so while they were having this conversation, I noticed they were going towards one direction. All of them were saying, equally hate Igbo, equally hate Igbo, equally hate Igbo. And then when I see some individuals who are not Ikwiri and born in Ikwiri land and claim to be Ikwiri, maybe as adopted child, coming to tell us that Ikwiri is Igbo without allowing the real Nwadiane to tell us that Ikwiri is Igbo, it's suspicious. And so in that meeting, I was the only person from the South, because at that time, Asari Dokubo have left us. And I kept quiet and observed them. After about 6 speakers has made their presentation, it boils down on one thing: Ikwiri hate Igbo, Ikwiri hate Igbo. And then I signaled that I want to speak. And they allowed me. They gave the mic to me. And I said, I'm truly sorry for what I would say will offend some of you. This idea, Ikwiri hate Igbo, it's not true. And if you check this platform, there is no Ikwiri person here. And I want to begin to believe that if I am not here, it would have been the same slogan: Anyoma hate Igbo, Eka hate Igbo, Anyocha hate Igbo, and the rest of it. I say, the Ikwiri we know, about 70% of them or more are married to Igbo women. From Imo State, from Abia State, from Enugu State, Anambra State, they are married from Southeast. Majority of them have their maternity home in the Southeast. And I will appreciate if we begin to say, Ikwiri men hate Igbo men, or Ikwiri people hate Igbo people. It would have been better that way. Because it looked to me they love Igbo women. And I'm appealing to them to drop that notion. Because if I'm not there, they will say the same thing about me. And somebody interrupted me immediately. Obidio Obienu was in that meeting. They called the idiot Ugochukwu, Ugo Marama Ugochukwu. It was a popular name before he became a saboteur at Nnamdi Kanu. People like Barrister Imam Mezue, people like Clifford Iruanya, all those who stuck in Biafra agitation before it was compromised. So once Nnamdi Kanu said Ugo Marama Ugochukwu, it was that idiot who shot me down. And then beckon on the rest supposed Igbo and say, why would they allow me to be saying that rubbish? And everybody kept quiet. When he finished yapping, I said, well, it's obvious I'm not supposed to be here. But while you people are saying all these things, understand that these people have their own issue they have against you. And two wrong cannot make a right. I log out of that meeting. I was later informed that the meeting did not go on again because they started quarreling among themselves. But Obidio Obienu, the one China Sanguru said is a drunk, the one in the Kano called criminals, they call me criminal somewhere in America, who says he's a doctor, was in that meeting. It never occurred to him that Ugo Marama Oguchuku was attacking Ikwere people. And so when they come out and say, oh, Jajenibe is attacking Igbo people, and I want to tell you without apology, God will punish all of you until you begin to do the right thing. And as much as I try to be civil, I will not haggle any atom of truth to please any of you. I'm making more enemy, and I'm very happy. You feel you are Igbo, you are insulted, you don't have sense, drop your insult. But you feel you are part of those group who will savage the future of the next generation of Igbo people, then you need to be up and running. You need to do the needful. Don't let them cajole you into cowardice. And so these are some of the reasons you see elders who see the fault of their own people and they did not speak about it, but then they are looking for who to blame and play the victim for the very problem they created. It's unacceptable, it's uncomfort, and will not be tolerated anywhere. And now let's heal the street. The conspiracy theory, what if it's true? Number one, we were informed that the purpose you hear regularly, those Igbo Biafra people that come from Israel, always agitating that they want to leave Nigeria, is because they know Nigeria may end up becoming a collateral for the loan they are borrowing. Remember, it's a conspiracy theory. But what if it's true? And so every day, Nigeria is borrowing money. You can see Sam Fobara telling you how many billion he borrowed to build flyover. You can imagine how much Wike borrowed, how much Ukowa borrowed, how much Sheriff is borrowing, how much Uduaga borrowed, Ibori borrowed, Tinubu is borrowing, Buhari have borrowed. You can imagine how much they borrowed. They're not telling you how much they pay back. Every administration will tell you how much they borrow. What is the collateral in this transaction? It is every eye is fixed on the resources in Niger Delta. And so the Igbo Biafra is having his own share of the money they are borrowing from the supposed resources in our land, which we are not benefiting from. And if they are able to pull the shot and leave the Nigeria which they created, we are gone. Because one day you will now come and see that this your Niger Delta, this your South region, this your Ijaw land, this your Ikwere land, this your Edo land, it no longer belongs to us. I was told how a governor in Abia State borrowed money from a particular bank. And he didn't write Abia State government. He wrote the people of Abia. And at the expiring of his tenure, he couldn't pay. And another governor came in. And when the people came for their money, the new sitting governor told them that this money was not borrowed by the Abia State government, but was borrowed by the people of Abia. You should go and meet them. And that is how that money died. What am I trying to say? And so by the time they pull out, all those money they are borrowing, using our land as collateral, they will go free. They are not going anywhere. And so what are we supposed to do? We will make sure Nigeria remain one until all of us are collateral to whoever is borrowing us money. But if they want Nigeria to divide, every hand must be on deck to resolve this issue. And this can only come by a very transparent atmosphere. We must put this hate aside. We must put this organized crime against indigenous people aside and embrace our problem as it is. So what if it's true? Yoruba will take their land, Hausa will take their land, Igbo will take their land, and then we become the collateral damage in the whole of this process? Already you can see an Igbo man coming to tell you you are from South-South, you don't have sense. How can you say you are from South-South? But they've forgotten that the name we answer as South South was given to us by Dr. Alex Ekweme. You see why it looks like I'm beginning to have problem with all of them. It was only one man I used to respect. But by the time I went to study him based on this rubbish going on, I discovered that towards the end of his life, he was almost compromised. I'm talking about Chinua Achebe, because he was the person that was writing the articles that Igbos are marginalized, Igbos are being killed. He was the loudest voice crying for the Igbo people. But it was he who told us that he that fetched an ant-infested firewood to his compound invite lizards. And now we are the lizard. You invited us. Why are you crying? Conspiracy theory. So each time you hear them, Igbo want to go. They are not going anywhere. This is our one Nigeria. And all of you serving Nigeria at this moment, understand the task to keep Nigeria one. All of you must be ready for it until we sort ourselves out. And then, another conspiracy theory. You see the issue of Biafra agitation. There are certain clique, cabal, in Igbo land who are sponsoring it. When Nnamdi Kanu betrayed them, they switched in Simon Ekpa. All of us know that Nnamdi Kanu was a very active PDP member, a political party in Nigeria. In fact, in London, he is their Otimpu. He is their spokesperson. He is their mobilizer. He is their PRO. Okay? And then if you watch Simon Ekpa, you will also notice that in PDP, he's a staunch. Go and ask Ike Kuremado. Maybe most of you have forgotten Iriji. Go and check Raphael Owazirike. Go and check Dim Chukwuemeka Odimegojukwu. And then there are a particular group of Igbo people hiding inside the system. They are the one that decide who live and who die. But something went wrong. Nnamdi Kanu betrayed all of them. And they cannot come out openly and condemn Nnamdi Kanu. But Nnamdi Kanu will expose them. They always take oath, as they gave me oath, and they give other people oath. Those who have soiled their hand cannot defend themselves. And the conspiracy theory goes this way, that they are the one making them to hold Nnamdi Kanu. They actually brought Simon Ekpa to replace Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu may be released later on, but he's going to be a toothless bulldog. He won't even back again. They will cripple him more than they cripple Raphael Owazirike. Now, what they did was, since they know that the outcome of Nnamdi Kanu, he knows crime against Ndi Igbo and the rest of Nigeria, has eventually discredited everything he stood to represent. They brought in Simon Ekpa. They didn't know that one is an idiot, a very useless buffoon. Now, he have destroyed Biafra agitation more than you can imagine. This same group of people try to use obedient movement. I had a meeting with Peter Obi in Enugu. I was accompanied by Barrister Loy Jimako. Let them go to court so I tell them what we discussed that day. And so, like I said, you are part of obedient movement. I'm not against you. You acted ignorantly like I acted ignorantly. But the conspiracy theory is that there is an agenda you people don't know. But God will always protect all of us. We were shouting political participation, not knowing they were cooking a different dish from behind. That is why I begin to have problem with Obi trying to turn Igbo people against me. I told them I support political participation of our people, because we cannot deliberately disenfranchise our people and then come out and tell you it's Nigerian disenfranchising us. If we say we're not going to vote, let it be we said so, not politicized. And then they knew I was not interested in their political participation, which is your obedient movement. They sidelined me, and I was watching them. And that gave room that I came out and said, see, from today, I am no longer Biafra. Even in 100 lifetime, I will not be a Biafra again. That time I wish to be a Biafra. Father, forgive me. Bagario, Bagarimo, Ezebube, Bagarimo. Bagario, Bagarimo, Ezebube, Bagarimo. Injonin lenim mele noa, Bagarimo. Father, forgive me. For now, I am in Nigeria. And I'm going to be in Nigeria for a very long time until otherwise. And of course, by extension, forever, I am a Kaman. I am a Igbo man. Undisputably, Ishube. And then, obedient movement did not work. Certain individuals played a role. why they did not attack Tinubu. And some of them I will categorically tell you is Asare Dokubo. And wherever he has issue with Tinubu, well, let God be the judge of them all. But I tell you, without Asare Dokubo influence, I know Nigerian army will shoot. But believe me, he will still be shooting by now. I know Nigerian police will arrest. Believe me, he will still be arresting by now. Because all of us would have been used. But the president of Asare Dokubo, in the Aso Rock and openly supporting President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, was what shut all of them down. Because they know Asare Dokubo know them in and out, inside Biafra and inside Nigeria. That is just a expo anyway. And so now obedient movement is no longer threatened. Eyes are not on judicial anymore. They switched the last option, which is Igbo unification. They are everywhere now. Why all this desperation? Now look at the similarity. When I was on Radio Biafra, I used to say, Igodomi Biafra, Agadami Gada Biafra, Urubu Biafra, Ejo Biafra, everybody Biafra, 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 Biafra. And most of you followed Biafra agitation. That is the same thing they are doing. Now, Isoko is Igbo, because the name Biafra have been criminalized. Bini Igodomi Godo is Igbo. You're going through the same circle of hopelessness. It is the same game they are playing. And if you have fallen for them, if you're still falling for them without being paid, you are a fool. You see all those Igbo unifiers campaigner, they've been paid. If I wanted that money, I will be paid. I know how many of them that approach me on a daily basis. And I respect them and I don't intend to expose any of them. But I simply cannot trust them. I cannot go to them. It's not about the money that brought me here. I was well-to-do. I've been able to attend to the highest level any Nigerian can come out and be their hands and say they are successful people. I'm a proprietorate of a school, Juniper Academy, then in Rivers State. I could say almost 35% of those students there were under scholarship sponsored by me. One of my cars is still with the DSS. And as of before I joined IPOB, even 10 years before them, I'm a landlord in Rivers State, not just in one local government. Before I knew Nandekano, I'm a general overseer of a church. I am a farmer, animal farm, and of course, agricultural farm, to mention but a few. And so I am well-to-do, but I destroyed all these things because I trusted my people. But I'm rebuilding them. And you see this very last one is going to be greater than the one I did. I'm recovering myself gradually. And so if I wanted this money desperately, I will succumb. Chidebe Rangudiwe know the truth of what I'm saying. Bright Chimeze know the truth of what I'm saying. Among other criminals who are not saying anything. They've been paid up. The idea is take this money and shut up. If you talk, you are gone. But of course, they are from the southeast. That is what they do to their people. But then, it will be a cool day for me in hell. Because after this junction, there is another junction. My people will say, Waga Febon, Eburihi. How will I look at you, South man? How will I look at you, Ikure man? How will I look at you, Anyoma man? Ndi abo, Naniken cannot learn when you do people. How will I look at you, Ijo Urubu Shekiri, and tell you to forgive me that somewhere along the line, I'm under pressure and I have to eat the money? And that is why I take your insult with gladness, those of you who don't know what is going on, because you are owing me an apology. Conspiracy theory. What if it's true? Just check the same mode and pattern of Biafra agitation. It is the same mode and pattern they are using for Igbo unification. All of us must be Igbo now. If we are not Igbo, we're going to blackmail Nigeria for it. The reason Nigeria is having a feast day now is because people like us are standing on the ground. People like wounded civilians. So many of them that I don't know the name. They've been able to remove Vigile. It is a conspiracy theory that even in their church, they have started demarketing other tribes. They have started segregating. Nepotism is now in the church of Ndi Igbo. They are now beginning to give their people education. And if you're going to a church pastored by Igbo man, you need to be very careful, most especially when you don't hear Igbo. You see, I used to come against Yoruba pastors, how they colonize us religiously. But I'm truly sorry. Just that now, I can see the difference between Yoruba pastor and Igbo pastor. I've never been in any Yoruba church where Yoruba pastor will stand up and say Yoruba people are children of God. Yoruba people are special people. Yoruba people are the only genuine people. Yoruba language is the language of God. Yes, Yoruba have monopoly in Nigerian Christianity. Of course, they are still influential in Islam. Because the popular Muslims you see in Nigeria, 90% of them are Yoruba, not even Hausa. And so let's say they are religious people. But you see Igbo man pastor, go and check Ebukobi. It's difficult to hear Adeboye after a long sermon. And we say, Omoduduwa, Lenka. It's very difficult. Is it Ashiwolowo? Is it Oyedepo? Is it Kumuye? Is it Odukoya? You won't even hear Pastor Chris. Most people don't know where Pastor Chris is. In fact, let me shock you. Even Chris Okotie is Abo man. Okwane man. Chris Okotie is Okwane man. And I'm sure most of you don't know. So it's not about where they come from. It's not about them. It is about presenting the gospel of Christ to those who are in need of salvation. And Apostle Paul said, I became all things to all men, that Christ may be one. He became Igbo smoker for Igbo people. He became a prostitute for prostitute. He became an arm robber to arm robber. He became a lawyer to the lawyers. He became a politician to the politician. In the end, that he may be able to present Christ to them. But today we go to Igbo man church. When they preach small, when Ebukobi stand up, say ndị Igbo ndị ọma, ndị Igbo bụ ụmụ Chineke, ndị Igbo bụ ndị Chukwu gọziri agọzi, n'ihi na ndị agbọ bụ ndị ọjọọ. Ndị agbọ bụ ndị Chineke kpọrọ ọkụ ya nọ. No, watch all their tone. Praising themselves is not the issue. But praising themselves with that literature figure of speech that undermine others is a problem. I went to a church service and then the pastor was preaching and all of a sudden he switched to Igbo. He told his Igbo people that they must be serious and working in the house of Igbo God. And then when he discovered that he was getting out of hand, he now paused. And so many of you understand what I said. If you are not Igbo here, raise up your hand if you understand what I said. Now we be the Mugu. And so imagine if Igbo man was Adeboye. Imagine if Igbo man was Oyedepo. Imagine if David Ebiomie was Igbo man. Imagine if Igbo man were all these renowned men of God you know in Nigeria. We're going to have problem. Just look at ordinary Ebukobi, who does not report to Catholic Church. Every day, he must come and praise Nnamdi Kanu. Look at Father Mbaka. And I appeal to you, Prophet Joshua Omosushu or Obi Omotutu, disengage from these people and face your ministry. Because they will rubbish you, they will use you, but they pretend they are with you. And so politically, religiously, they are attacking us. Can somebody, for the love of God, tell me why supposed Pastor Ebukobi will come in his church instead of administering deliverance? Imagine TB Joshua coming to Synagogue Church of All Nations and saying, I am a disciple sent to Yoruba people. TB Joshua is married to Abo woman. Evelyn is Abo woman. Evelyn Temitokwe is Abo woman. We don't even know she's Abo woman. We don't even know TB Joshua is a Yoruba without his name Tomitokwe. This is how a man of God should be. And then Mbaka will enter. Chineke kwenu. Emana anyị bụ mwenu igwe. Anyị chọka igwe ọnụ na Chineke na ala Igbo. Emana Jesus Christ wụ onye Enugu Ezike. Na ihi na Peter na Paul wancha bụ ndị Abakaliki ndị oshi. Then the other one is Ebukobi. Children of God, praise the Lord. You see, our son who is in captive, Nnamdi Kanu onye oshi. Why did you not bring me to your fucking church, Ebukobi, to take oath? And then look at people who have problem. You add to their problem. What is your name, Chukuma? Are you Igbo? No, I'm Okwane. But you are Chukuma. He say, yes. Which language do you speak? Okwane. He said, but you see, Okwane is a dialect in Igbo. Ta, Bumono, who told you? Do you know how many dialects we have in a car language? Let me digress. If I go to my village, my real village where I come from, those of you saying I'm from Owerolobo, I'm not from Owerolobo, I'm from Utowere. When I go to my village, we have 7 clans. And the amazing thing there is, when I'm communicating with my elders, they will die of laughing. They can't bear it. I will greet my elder, Maba. They will tell me, Maba ya mapoha. Because in some Eka dialect, Maba look like you jump inside. They will now tell me, when you jump inside, you jump out. But all of us are Eka people who, they say we don't greet Maba, we greet Madada. But we are not inheriting anybody. All of us are Eka people. All of us are Abo people. And so when I meet some Abo people, I will say Maba. If they don't answer, I will say Madada. And sometimes I will say Lie. Ajay no lenzire. The last time I checked, we have 447 different Eka dialects. Don't you know only Edo and Delta State is bigger than the whole of the old Eastern region? Don't you know, you heard me well, the current day Edo State and Delta State as a Bendel state was bigger than the whole of the old Eastern region. You think because we keep quiet? We are not a dialect in Igbo. We are a language with its own dialect. Why can't you respect this? And now the next conspiracy theory is that each time they throw that word, that we are speaking Igbo language, that we are speaking Igbo dialect, that we are Igbo, and our land belongs to Igbo, most of you are not faulting them because you know the truth. Don't let the superiority of your education destroy you, because it's not about you now. The conspiracy theory now is that they will continue to push this campaign and we will say nothing. And the moment we refuse to say something, the more you tell a lie and it is unchallenged, eventually it will become true. Our children are on social media. They are on TikTok. They are everywhere. They don't even understand what we are saying. We've been fooled this way for a very long time. And when I cannot explain myself further, because many people don't know Abo, and I say Bendel Igbo, or Delta Igbo, or Yoruba Igbo. And then that is when they will now know who I'm talking about. Because these people have dominated us. We no longer resist. We are just the shadow of ourselves. And if you say nothing, because you feel you know the truth already, and I'm sure your children know the truth. I'm sure most of you are not educating your children the way we are educating our children and our people. Because the day will come, they will accept that yes, they are Igbo, through unification of Ndi Igbo, to use us as a scapegoat, to use us as a guinea pig, to use us as experimental animal. I have no problem with being an Igbo, but the way they are going about it, it will surely be to the detriment of our people. They throw in the corn. They will say, Ikwere is Igbo. Ikwere will say, I'm not Igbo. They say, but Ikechukwu is Igbo language. Who told you that? Who gave it to Ikechukwu? You came from Israel for God's sake. Are Israel people answering Ikechukwu? Does Netanyahu know the meaning of Emeke? Do they know the meaning of Onyema? You have to go back to where you come from. But of course, you are Ikwere. When they beat you, you shut up. I was listening to an Igbo elder speak, how they began to answer Igbo name. He said in the then old Eastern region, he went to register his son in the school. And they asked him, what is your son's name? He said, Ovonda. And then the teacher, being Igbo, said, what is the meaning of Ovonda? And the elder said, I said, heart of the father. And the Igbo teacher said, Abege, and wrote Ikenna. And so to Ikwere, Ikenna is Ovonda. And to Igbo man, it is Ikenna. Why don't you respect this? But this is an elder who were there from the beginning of this journey to this very moment. But are you sure his children know the difference between Onyeibbe? They don't. Do you think they know the meaning of ONYEIBE? Each time they struggle to contradict that it's Obibo. So if you keep quiet as Ikwere and allow this campaign to continue to go on, your children will soon believe them. And the moment we believe that Ikechukwu is Igbo name, the moment we believe that Rumokoro is Igbo name, The moment we will now agree that our land is Igbo land, my brother, they are coming from different direction. There is a conspiracy theory that the reason they gather money and begin to buy land in your community, they have a conspiracy theory that when they will strike, none of us will be safe. Be selling your fatherland. No, sell it anyhow because you are poor. But while you are doing that, it is time for Nigerians to begin to review the land art usage. Because conspiracy theory has it that this Igbo Biafra from Israel has it. Of course, Nigerian constitution acknowledges that every land in Nigeria belongs to the federal government. It is only the state governor that have the right to stop them from accessing that land or to compensate you if need be, or not to compensate you. But I think they have to review the land act. We all have property outside our village. But you see, for this threat coming, it's better we give the whole land to London than to allow some people to bring us home, embrace us to their heart, not knowing they have a sword there to kill us. No. If you are from the southeast, you still don't get it. Ask Nnamdi Kanu, why did he take me to take oath? It was Ikechukwu Gwoha and an enemy. They call him enemy, head of volunteer. I will not call the other person. Why did they take me to give oath? And why did they betray the oath? Why everybody's afraid of you once you call Igbo, despite how uniquely you are made? Nobody wants to do anything with you from their heart. They are always waiting for you. I will give you conspiracy theory about what may happen to your people in future, but not in this broadcast. But I'm telling my people what may happen to them if they keep quiet. You go to Igbo church, go with your recording device. Once your pastor switch to Igbo, record what he's saying. Later on, look for a progressive-minded liberal Igbo person and try to find out what they are saying. If they refuse to interpret for you, know they are saying something bad about your people. But that is the level where they are today. I'm not sure I've heard Adeboye speak Yoruba during his broadcast. I'm not sure I have heard David Ebiome speak Okereka or Kalabari in his broadcast. I'm not sure I have heard Paul Eneche speak Idoma in his broadcast. It's not as if it's a crime. But they all can speak their language. They have nothing to hide. Tell Ibukubi that Anyindowa Lili will answer him. And of course, I used to love Ibukubi. I used to love Obidio Benu. And I love Ndabuski. But I see Ndabuski has taken a contract. He wants to be the next people that insult us. If you know Ndabuski, tell him we still have his profile. Before I go pinch all of them, one of them will come out. Tell him to leave a Nyoma issue. Nnamdi Kanu was on Radio Biafra. I would have posted the video when he was saying, what kind of a nonsense is that? What kind of... No. I'm saving the best dance for the last. Let him come out. All of you will be ashamed. And so, the conspiracy theory I've been able to mention now, what if it's true? Are we supposed to fold our hand and let them sell the next generation of our people? Are we supposed to accept defeat and conclude that we are just minus, part of a whole? No. We must begin to do something. Every child from South, you must follow those of us who are campaigning for the complete emancipation of we, the foolish people from South. The people don't understand. When I hear somebody say, I am a full-fledged Ikwere, I used to see them as uninformed people. But having listened to Ikwere elder, I knew I was wrong. Because the elder simply say, our name is not Ikwere people. We are Yenoha. It is the Igbo who gave us Ikwere, a name to mock us. Agree people. He said, today we have accepted it. And so, officially, we are Ikwere people. But traditionally, indigenously, we are Yenoha. And I was humbled. And so, we are South, not because we choose it. Because one Igbo man, Dr. Alex Ekweme, having been assigned by one Hausa man, late General Sani Abacha, to recreate Nigeria back to the old region that was destroyed by Agu Yorosi Igbo man. Let it look as Igbo man destroy region, Igbo man restore region. The only name he see to give to us is South-South. Today, his people are mocking us with the South-South. All of you from South-South. You see the reason why it look like they are ignoring Akwa Ibom? They are not dragging Akwa Ibom into this matter. They can't drag Igala into this matter. They can't drag Idoma into this matter. Do you know why? Akwa Ibom people is their match. When time will come, Akwa Ibom may take back Arochukwu. When you hear Ebenokpabe is it Igbo dialect. That is Akwa Ibom land. They were conquered. When you hear Abereba, Abereba, the most developed city, is it Igbo people? In fact, Igbere people, are they Igbo people? Oji Okalu should tell us, who are Igbere people? How did they come there? But of course, anybody that is in that club of people who come from Israel, they will mess you up. Why do you think they don't talk to Igala people? Because after of Igala may be in Kogi State. But after of Igala is fully in Anambra State. After of Igala is in Delta State. After of Igala is wherever Igala people is. And so it is almost difficult to break their bond. Do you know Atto of Igala is the only king who refused to stand up in obedience to the Queen of England? He refused to pull his cap. He stood doggedly, and when they forced to remove his cap, beam came out from his hair and chased away Queen of England from the palace. He's still there till tomorrow. Almost all his colleagues in their time were all exiled, killed. He's still there. Atto of Igala is one man that can still say something in Nigeria to happen, even as a monarch. Because he cure mad people. Go and ask Aguneri and Emuneri. That Oye where you people are dragging. Those small Igala people there. How market? Left for the way most of you were planning it, they would have been completely destroyed, extinct. But you see, and so there are a lot of things for us to say. Those of you the South-South, when you hear them projecting disinformation, counter them. When you hear them with blackmail, character assassination, disinformation, trying to demarket you or anybody, counter them. This is a social media space. All of us have equal right. It's just about who have data and who don't have data. If as a poor man like me living in an uncompleted building, very hungry and timunanga, I can buy data and make a broadcast. You can. But let our children know the truth. Let's not allow them to sell the next generation of our people. There are a lot of things we need to do to preserve our heritage, our culture and tradition, uphold and sustain our value system. And so that after we are long gone, the sacrifice of our ancestors will never be in vain. And before I bring the broadcast to an end, let me go to the comment section and see maybe one or two Igbo Biafra from America, Obidio Bienu know them, has a message for me. Yes, who do I have here? I have Stephen. Stephen, good afternoon from here. Good afternoon from here. They are not going anywhere. I see Becky Godwin. I greet you. Good afternoon from here. Uyi, I greet you. Good afternoon from here. And of course, Nole Ifanye. He says since Nole Ifanye. What did he say? He says since we instigated, we have developed serious low self-esteem and inferiority complex. We now believe that we are better than everyone else. We now beat our chest. Facebook allow me to read. Igbo fought a war. Igbo fought a war. A war that was considered as madness. Because Igbo was in charge of the whole of the government parasitator as at that time. It was not necessary. It was never necessary. And then it led to war. And they were beaten by the Nigerian foe. Maybe because of access to external support and more superior ammunition. But you have been defeated, you have been defeated. Accept it. Don't allow inferiority complex to destroy you. Because you are only activating jealousy against all of yourself. I cannot see how my son will sit in the same class with you. And then because you have Android phone, we allow you to come and share our economic space with us. You call us lazy people. That's scavenging around the world. That's scavenging around Nigeria. Don't worry. Continue. I know it is low self-esteem that is their problem. So everywhere, they are on social media, they are the best. Ezoku Siso, I thank you as well, Ezoku Siso. Thank you so much. What we do here, they may not be able to comprehend, the genuine ones, but they will wake up, because it's not the hatred of anybody that drives us. We want to protect our people. We want to protect the next generation of our people. We want to make sure that their life will not gain credibility. There is nothing they can do outside what they are doing now. They will tell you I'm hungry. They'll tell you I'm a thief. They'll tell you I'm a criminal. I take drug. I drink kai kai and ogogoro together. I did not go to school. I am a useless person and I have HIV. I'm working for Nigerian government and so on and so forth. I'm not denied. I accept I'm all of them. Because the strength of a man is not measured by the outbursts of anger. It is not your talking down on me that says who I am. He said what they did to Ijele is evil. Of course, they are happy. Now the Kano that is killing Igbo people and using unknown government to pursue people like Obidi Obienu from being able to come to their village is their hero. Ijele that is telling them, we have to stop this. Ijele is evil. One Pastor Ibuka who sayon abondo wa lireri. Geneka, you have not come to insult me. I dey prepare your food for you. What a shame. I see Akin one day, he said they really, let's see what Akin one day said there. Taiwo, what did he say? Facebook allow me to see what Taiwo is trying to tell us here. Because Igbo Biafra people will come later and do their usual thing. They say, Chak, good day, George. Please deal with the old fool, Obidi Obienu. Obidi Obienu don't have sense. His broadcast was remaining 1 before he made that one. And now his broadcast is remaining 21 because it has been magnified to the power of 3. This one now is remaining 20. Before I finish this 20, will be the talk again. I will upgrade it for him. It will be up to 47. Mbiushi. I know he's a fighter. He's going to come for me. And I will finish him. Even those people who are still around him will be afraid of him. Uchengo Kenko prepare. I will expose you and Obidi and make both of you fight yourself. Betrayers of their own people. If I'm doing something wrong, Obidi is a man I hardly respect. And I expect Obidi to tell me, my son, okay, Oga, no vessel. I know you are a big boy. This thing, I don't think it's right. Obidi is paying them money to attack me. Small picking no medicine. Say na vegetable. Let's see. Facebook, allow me, please. Justice, Igoni, he said, God will bless you and protect you for doing this great work. Justice, I thank you. We are all in this. It is the present of those of you, Alexander Will. He said, Igbo Biafra people from Israel are now begging for unity with the South. So I don't mind them. It is because of people like you that have actually made them to back off here. If not, the moment I come online, you will tell them he's online. Go there, go there. To them, it's when they insult me, I will run. It is your insult that charge my battery. Now, when they no insult me, my battery will soon die. My morale, they low. Just give me one course, make I tell you your mama story and your papa history. Since you don't have history, people without history, formulating history. Look at what they are doing inside Nigeria now, trying to cause confusion. Yoruba is the owner of Benin. Benin is the owner of Yoruba. Now, the same people, though. The true owner of Igodo is Sishan. Now they have created Yoruba to fight Edo people. They've created Edo to fight Asian people. Maybe they will succeed in causing problem between Isako, Ekpoma, Oriongo, and Awuchi. Hit their heads together, carry all their head, hit them for Yoruba. As then hit them for Yoruba, they will now revise it and bring it to Anyoma. And then when they are done with Anyoma, they push it to the southeast and they will be clapping. Don't you see many of them are happy because of the hardship we are going through in Nigeria? That is why people like us cannot converse against the present government who has made our life miserable. Because we will give credibility to their falsehood, betrayal of our dear loving one Nigeria. And so we will carry this cross. It may be painted with iron color, but we know it is a wooden cross we are bearing. It's just a matter of time. I wanted to see what my brother wanted to see, but let's see if Facebook will allow me. Facebook will allow me. It's unfortunate. Taiwo, they got Ijele, because Ijele lowered his shield. By the time Ijele started looking for people who will host him, because he's coming somewhere, I know Ijele don't truly know his people. It's like the other idiot called Ezawo, the one that was taken to Europe with chain. I wonder why he has not come here to insult his father again. But I've hardly heard about the broadcast from the madman in an asylum hospital in Europe. Made a broadcast condemning his people. He's coming to teach me how to talk. Foolish set of people. But of course, they have not come. They will drop their comment and I will respond to them later. I still remain George ONYEIBE. But I need you people from South to begin to consider, and Nigerian by extension, what if all these conspiracy theories are true? We know fully well what is happening within the context of one Nigeria. Conquest after conquest. We know deliberate act of certain individuals trying to destroy a particular ethnic group. But the earlier every ethnic group begin to wake up for the survival of all of us, the better of us. Because believe me, all this plot will be exposed in no time. And those trying to conquer all those others, you think we are weak because you call us minority. No. If you see the Doma people, you don't hear them talk. It looks like they not exist. They are minority, right? And most people think Idoma, you can find them only in Benue State. But let me shock you. You have Idoma people in Benue State. You have Idoma people in Kogi State. You have Idoma people in Enugu State. You have Idoma people in Ebonyi State. And you have Idoma people in Cross River State. Idoma land started from Benue, run through Kogi State, down to Enugu, into Ebonyi State, and then in Cross River State. Though they don't call them Idoma, they call them Eyala. They are all Idoma people, but they are minority. And so we're going to destroy the ones in Cross River State and tell them you are Eyala, you are unique, you are not Idoma. And how can Idoma come together and fight in a nation like this? And so when you see Anyoma man in River State, when you see Anyoma man in Anambra State, when you see Anyoma man scattered everywhere, it looks like Anyoma is just a head bridge. No, we are camping along River Niger. Why will you have that morality, that mentality, that mindset to speak for your right? And I still ask, who forged Wazobia? The same people crying. They are marginalizing us, they are destroying us, they are wickeding us, they want to Fulanize us, now they want to Igbonize us. Make I leave on for here. No, Janoku book order. This is not my fight. This is not my war. Like every other war, it was brought upon us. And all of us must come together. Starting from your community to the entire people of the South. It is our duty and certainly our responsibility to protect our life from these invaders. It's so obvious they told you where they come from. Israel. They are from Israel. Israel. Come. They are from Israel. They are from Israel. You know, when they are mocking you, they think they are doing something. In my uncompleted building, this is one of my special breed. This is one of my special breed. These are the things I do in uncompleted building. A special breed is known as 101. He just left the cage now. Many of them here, Mugu people, toiling with what you know nothing about. Have a nice day.